Does it start soon? Or is it
There
going?
he goes right now.
Okay.
Sorry, we're used to using Zoom, so this whole
Yeah.
Google thing's a little different.
So we'll kind of just take you through it, and then we'll see where it goes.
Okay.
So we started in 2008. We work with HOAs. We work with commercial properties, any type of industrial, basically anybody producing trash. Really, our goal when we come to look at these properties is we're going to give a free evaluation. Our goal is just to help you guys reduce your budgets on trash, see if we can take over some of that management, so offset any customer service aspects, and then billing the items that are going on. And then if we can add extra services, we're big on that too. And that's kind of our goal, is to make a more robust waste program with those three aspects: is saving money, saving people time, managers dealing less with trash issues, and then in what other programs we can get into there. Also, our goal is to really help you guys get aligned with your local compliances. If you guys are getting penalized with any overages or other junk fees, if any of that kind of stuff is happening. The waste game has kind of changed so much in the last 10 years with the technology that managers are having to spend a lot more time evaluating invoices, even, like, was there an overage or was there a contamination or other additional fees that didn't used to exist? And what we find is a lot of people just don't have the time to give those type of analyses. So we're able to go back through, validate, ask for photographs. If they're invalid, work on fighting them. So a lot of times we're able to recover money on the back end there. And then we're going to do a full evaluation to see, are you guys getting charged for the correct services? Are you paying for more than what you should be? Is there any way to make it more efficient? Is there any way to offset the trash more and divert more from the landfill? So we're looking to really do a deep dive on what are any options that we can help you guys out with. The first, the initial step for us is, like, you sent us an invoice. We're going to take a look at it. We're going to pull all the details. We're going to look at the history on the account. We're going to go visit the account, see if the bin sizes match up, look at the bins ideally before they get dumped, just to see how much they're each producing on average. And then we'll take a look at it a couple times and then get back to you guys with, here's what we think we can do on this one. And it's either going to be, yes, we can help. Here's how much we can charge you for the exact same service, ensure satisfaction, give you all our programs and customer service, or you guys are doing really good on this one. We're not able to take it on at this time, but if services adjust or tenant space adjusts in the future, let us know how we can help out. And then also, if you guys are dealing with tenants moving in, and I think the property sent was a commercial property, you can let us know, hey, this changed from a restaurant to a manufacturing location, or from a nail salon to, somebody producing more service. So we can help you guys keep up. A lot of times properties keep the same service levels, but they're utilizing totally different types of businesses. So their needs change significantly. So our goal is to help you guys keep those needs and aligned with what you guys are doing. So that's another thing we can help out with.
Yeah, Jeff never says it, but Jeff started as an HOA manager in the HOA world. The owner of the company was working directly with HOAs and boards before he got into trash. And, the constant thing was that trash specifically is taking up really just more time than it should be. And so we've become specialized in trash. Our whole office knows probably more than we should about trash, but we enjoy it. And ultimately, it's to take that time and money spent on that you guys are currently spending dealing with trash, find a better program, and basically work within a budget that you're currently paying. So 95% of our customers come from a reduced cost of their current what they're currently paying for their waste service. And so that's really where our win hits as a company is. We say, hey, you're spending $3,500. Cool. Our job is to come in under $3,500 or right at $3,500. You're still going to get the trash service. In most places for you guys, it's going to be determined by the franchise agreements who that hauler is. But in areas where we call it an open market, we can look around at other options. And ultimately, everybody already knows what it's like having to deal directly with the hauler. What that's like, the time that it takes, some of the frustrations that happen with it. And we're trying to be, 30-40% better than that at the same cost that you're currently paying. And so a lot of times the way our business grows is an HOA manager will give us one property and go, oh gosh, this was really nice. This was really smooth. I have one email address, one phone call. We're working in the business full time. They can go on and get their other stuff done. and we're, all eyes on trash with any issue or concern that's happening. And then ultimately that's how our business grows. Usually sometimes one at a time. We do take over large portfolios for people, just to give them that peace of mind that when you have an issue at any one of your properties, you have one email address. It's our job to know which hauler to wait on the phone or whatever we have to do to be the most efficient for you guys for your time, because we know trash is one of those things we don't think about until it becomes a problem.
Okay, so whoever the company that does the hauling, if it's in a closed market where you only have one option, they would start sending the invoices to you, and then you would bill us, and we would pay you, and we would have a point of contact, and for any of our communities that go under your umbrella, you would be our point of contact. And there would be some sort of spread between what they charge and what you charge, and that's where your profit margin is.
Yep.
And
Correct.
And there may be situations where there's an open market where multiple vendors can serve, and then you will potentially find a lower cost option for if that is a possibility.
Right. And then even in those open markets, a lot of times there's contracts are tricky. They got evergreen clauses and they're increasing prices at Liberty. Our goal is to help you guys get in a better suited contract. And depending on who the hauler is, we might have a major portfolio contract with them. So we might already have pre-negotiated terms set where, like, if it's a Waste Management or Republic, we have like a master agreement where we can come in and we're not even negotiating. We're just saying, let's add them to our portfolio. We're going to have overages at this amount. This is how much your set annual increase is maxed out at, those type of things. So that's another advantage too, is to get brokered pricing in open market areas. So
we also have some tech applications. So we take every single invoice, whether it be for a commercial property with dumpsters or it be an individual property that has like individual toters. We throw it into a system. They know exactly what the rate should be. If the rate comes in $9 higher, it red flags it. We go through it individually through our system and say, okay, hey, they added a lock fee or they added $9 more for fuel and environmental, and ultimately then working on getting those credited back to you as the customer. So every single one of our invoices, I mean, when it started, there was, 10, 20 properties. It was no problem. We've had to create some tech applications that allow us to, do this in a much more efficient way to benefit our customers.
Mm-hmm. Like we took over a big community in San Francisco called Shipyard, and one of the issues they had is they budgeted for the lowest base rate trash, and in that location, the larger bin you go, the more money you're going to be spending. Well, the HOA was way over budget, and in that instance, we were able to take each individual property that wanted additional service, and they could just pay us directly. And then the HOA could pay us the base rate fee that was put through in the DRE. So there's other nifty little things you can do with individual residencies. And then we added like a Clean-A-Can service, and then we added some other programs into the neighborhood where residents are able to do their bulk items run through us and that kind of stuff. So when you have residential communities, we have a tech app for that allows us to, group those together and ultimately give the HOA more flexibility on, okay, they need an extra bin or they have a larger family. The HOA doesn't have to take on the surplus for that cost. We'll go ahead and route that directly. So,
and in those, those scenarios where the resident doesn't pay the bill, the HOA does. Anytime there's an issue, a broken bin, missed service, somebody in your office is getting all those phone calls, and you're having to then call the hauler and say, hey, this address was missed or this bin is broken. Those residents have direct access to us. They can email us in. We put their address into the system and say, hey, broken bin at this address, can we get it replaced? And you don't even know about it. That's not even anything that gets across your desk, because we're now that contact for the residents as well.
You mentioned that you were going to go out to look at the property that I sent you the invoices for. I can tell you right now that if you just look on satellites, you're going to see
Yep.
exactly what you're going to see by going there in person, because it's just like an enclosure, one
Yep.
central location out of the parking lot.
Yeah, I took a peek. Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing inside the office.
Is this
But-
which association was it? Which property?
Venture.
What's it? Venture? Oh,
One of the reasons we like to get on site is that we want to give our customer service team the best information possible. So in a scenario like that, yeah, there's one enclosure, a couple bins, it's not a problem. All of a sudden you get 3-4 enclosures on a property, the trash was missed. We want them to know, hey, it's enclosure number 3 by building 1608, so that we're calling in to get that customer service into the hauler to get that fixed. We know we want as much detail as possible. So we go out and try to take pictures, try to give landmarks for where each bin's at and located, because clearly, our customer service team isn't going to be there. So we want to have as much information about that property so that we can relay that information and the problem get fixed as quickly as possible.
We're also looking at the types of bins, any other issues that, you might have certain accounts where you have a red flag on, hey, we're always dealing with this with the hauler, or, we're getting excess costs and overages or whatever. So it's useful for us to go out and even actually determine, is this a manufacturing facility that's producing a certain type of good, if it's recyclable, or just seeing what's going on. Do they have bulk item problems? What do the bin size look like? Do they match up with what's on the invoice? There's lots of different advantages for us to go find, and that's part of our process anyways. And there's no charge or commitment for that. And, ideally, if you guys think this sounds like something we could pursue, we'll probably plan up a trip, and we would like to look at a handful of accounts if possible, just get a number of invoices. And we don't do anything with the on-site people. We're not, necessarily needing to meet with anybody if access is open. We're just trying to get an idea of what's going on in the property, and if we find anything that doesn't match up. So
what do you do? What do you do with a place like with Oakland? Do you have any particular regime that you use for Oakland? I mean, Oakland signed a contract with their waste hauler that
Waste
basically
management?
they gave away the store here a few years back. And do you have any kind of a thing to deal with that? Or, I mean, what happens? I mean, right now we've got those places where in Oakland, if you have a dumpster that's in a place that they can't get to, you gotta find somebody to pull it out. They used to do it, now they don't.
Yeah, I found that we got a couple accounts in Oakland where they had to Waste Management even let us know that we could outsource the pushing to get the pricing down. So yeah, definitely. And then that each little franchise has its own little niches. So there might be something where we can do multifamily, where they get a lower recycling rate. Maybe we can adjust. Sometimes multifamily will pay a price per unit rather than a price per dumpster. And I believe they do in Oakland. So there's all kinds of little things where we might be able to find, hey, multifamily, I'd rather have dumpsters and toters. We'll make these adjustments on site and recommend that to you. Keep your price the same or lower it, and you might have a better functional program.
You don't have any magic way to get waste management to go in there and move the damn dumpster out like they used to.
No, yeah, you're gonna have to either pay them their tow out fees, right, or outsource it to another company, which sounds like it might be more affordable to do, or find a bin that the driver can move without the dump truck. So depending on what the location looks like, we'll give you your best options, but we're gonna have to play by their rules and their franchise, and that's typical. That's normal for all the locations. They negotiate these massive contracts with the cities and slip these additional fees in, and sometimes they're not the best suited for each individual business. So you can't outsource to another hauler, unfortunately. So
Go ahead. I'll let you go.
Going back to the small number or number of associations to take a look at. And you said ones that did not have on-site staff. I was actually, in my mind, I was thinking the ones that did have on-site staff.
both, yeah, well, definitely, yeah.
Then they can give you access, and they can also explain to you what their challenges are.
Yep.
And they tend to be our larger accounts.
Yep.
So they have higher costs that, so
Yeah,
probably-
sorry, I didn't mean to say that we didn't want to look at those. I was just saying we weren't gonna take up much employee time, kind of, or tenants, get in and interfering at all. But
Okay.
absolutely, anybody that's on site that has the time to meet, we'd love to pick their brain on what's going on, any issues they're dealing with, and see how we can help. For sure, that's helpful.
Yeah, we would prefer to have someone on site to have a contact and, conversation with. It just, we try to do it as simple as possible for you guys.
Okay, yeah, I'm thinking that the places that do have some on-site people would
Yeah.
be better, because they'll have a much broader, deeper understanding of their challenges. So
Yeah, there was an example. We were up in San Francisco about 2 months ago, and they were paying about $600 a month in a rollout fee. And we went into the property, sat down with the manager, got the video recording up, and saw their maintenance guy rolling the bins to the street every night. And yet they were charging about $500 a month for this rollout fee. When that property was doing the work, we were able to get that video footage, send it into Waste Management, not only to get that taken off the bill, but then, they were able to go back and fight for a credit for months and months of that charge that didn't exist for every single month they were charging that, in which the customer was doing it themselves. And so,
Recology is notorious for that too. Like we'll find that they don't have the same bins on site. They're and their costs are so high that making a small adjustment on site, or finding, this is actually a 32 gallon and not a 96 gallon, you can get a big differential on your monthly invoice. So,
all right, yeah. So you guys are going to have to come up here to do
Yep.
this, or do you have folks up here?
We love going up to San Francisco, so we try to do it about once a month. Like we said, we have some properties up there. It gives us all a good reason to tell our wives we got to get out of the office and enjoy, a couple days out in San Francisco. But we have no problem flying up there and taking a look.
So, and like we were saying, we'd like to look at a handful of accounts. There's no cost, there's no commitment. Our goal is to send you a proposal. You can bring it back to the board. You can say, hey, let's do this, or you can say, let's do it on our own, or whatever you want to do. I mean, our goal is to make your life so much easier that you're like, let's do more work with these guys. And that's really how we built our business. We started off obviously with nothing in 2008, and we're over 600, 700 accounts now. So like we've grown and exponentially over the years, and it's been a fun ride. So like our goal really is to provide the best customer service that we can in an industry where it's really lacking, so hopefully make your managers' lives a lot easier and save you money along the way to make it easier for the boards to say, yeah, that's a great idea.
Have any of your HOA management clients been able to negotiate?
You froze up on us.
You froze up on us, so if you could repeat that question.
Have any of your HOA managers or any of your clients that have a fairly good sized book of business been able to negotiate some sort of profit sharing arrangement with your company?
Yeah, I mean, we could definitely look at that. Honestly, I mean, that's did we do that with somebody?
We had a property management company come to us and give us all of their properties out in Las Vegas area. And it was unfortunately one of the toughest franchise agreements because the trash was based on the number of residents. And there was no negotiating. So, whether you had 145 residents, it didn't really matter if you were using that trash or not. It was going to be the same rate. So that was kind of the one shot that we did have it. And it just happened to be where the location was. But ultimately for us, I mean, we're open to anything.
Especially if you're looking at like allowing us to audit your whole book. I think we'd definitely be interested in that. So I'll figure out an idea that would work for you guys.
Okay. But still, be that as it may, the intermediary step would be to take a look at a small number of communities.
Yeah, that would probably be the best to just do a small sample size.
And to be like super transparent, we're about a 50 to 60% success rate. So, if you give us 10 properties, usually there's 5 or 6 that we think we can help on. And then there's 3 or 4 of those properties that we just say, hey, look, you're getting as best deal as you can. There's nothing we can do. And, there are some property management companies that pay a $39 a month fee to just have us manage it because they don't want to deal with it. But that's not really our kind of bread and butter of our company. But about 50 to 60% of we feel like we have some success on. And the other percentage is just, there's nothing else we could do. It's in a franchise area. Service is great. The level of service they have is exactly what they need. And, we just kind of say, hey, we give our professional thumbs up to them, and it is what it is.
Do you have a list of regions in the Bay Area where you are more likely to have success? Are there some cities or regions where,
we have a lot of success in that area? Honestly, the trash is priced so much higher than any other market in the United States that's a great market for us. Even if we're making small changes, 10% can be a lot of money. So I think any area up there is really good.
Contra Costa County.
What's that?
Contra Costa County. Have you done work in Contra Costa, Alameda?
Alameda, yep.
We manage a small number of communities in San Francisco, but we're almost 80% Contra Costa or Contra Costa and Alameda, and then some in the North Bay. So I don't know if you have much experience with those markets.
We don't a ton in those areas, but for us, because it is waste management or these haulers that we're all very familiar with, and our weirdness that we just like to learn more about trash in different areas, for us to go up there and take a look and see what we can do and read the franchise agreements and understand some of the issues that are going on up there and how we can help. Like I said, we spent a week out in Las Vegas area and came up with nothing. And the reality was we learned from it, and we all enjoyed our time. And now we have a story to tell about how we can't really help that area out. So for us, just getting to learn more about areas and kind of stretches our
most of those agreements though, we do a public shopping center company, and they have a lot of shopping centers in that area. In most of the incorporated neighborhoods that we've been in, we found savings and significant enough for them to proceed with all their business. So,
okay. Hey, and this is my own curiosity. You mentioned you had a podcast. I didn't realize that. So what's the name of your podcast?
Well, we
Waste Academy.
We do have our podcast, but then we were on HOA Pros podcast too. We were a guest on there. I figured that's where you heard our scoop.
Well, I didn't, but I heard all your advertisements, and then after the advertisements, they seemed to gush over you guys.
Yeah.
So
we could send you the episode we did, and kind of they ask a bunch of questions and give more explanation, a little deeper dive. I think it's a 45-minute episode.
I think a good example is someone reached out to us about some properties out in Nashville, Tennessee. Clearly, we're from San Diego, was not, real familiar with anything out there. We flew out there. We've probably been out there 4 or 5 times now. I think we manage about 15 to 20 properties out there. And we're kind of learning as we're going as well. So
we started up a small branch.
We actually partnered with a couple guys that ended up starting to do what we do. They kind of heard about us via a podcast as well. They actually had a trash can cleaning truck business, and we clean about 20,000 trash cans a year through our company. And went out, and now we're partnering up with people in Nashville to do the same thing. So
in Austin, we just started working with a developer out there too, and took on a bunch of their stuff. And we're also doing consulting for their new build aspect, where the developer, what do we got to set up for? What are some things that we got to look out for when we're setting it up? So we're doing stuff in other areas for sure.
Do you? This is not related to our business, but related to a home that I have at Lake Tahoe. Do you do any work up there?
I haven't before, actually. I haven't done anything in Tahoe.
I've skied,
but we can take a peek for you for sure. I mean, if you're in an HOA or you're in a grouping of homes, we could definitely.
It's an HOA up there, but their biggest problem up there is bears, and all the fines that you get if someone leaves garbage out.
Oh yeah.
So.
Do you guys have specialty bins that lock, automated locking ones?
Yeah, everybody's got that, but then ours are bins that are indoors in a building, and then they have to put them out for them to be picked up, but then nobody shows up to pick them up, and then somebody needs to get rid of their garbage, and they stick it on the ground, and then the association gets charged $500 for that.
Oh wow.
So it's a fine, but anyways, but that's probably not, that was just,
Well, I don't know if you've been to Tahoe before, but there's this area, like a big master association called Incline Village. It's a city basically on the north end of the lake, and then it's on the Nevada side. So all these, rich folk move there to avoid paying state taxes, and then they have a bunch of sub associations. And I think that just generally speaking, people target people in every way possible to pull money out of their pocket. So I'm sure that trash collection is no exception up there.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Do you guys work with Associa at all?
Yeah. We got a lot
Yeah,
of business with us, yeah.
Yeah, I think they manage some communities up in Incline Village. But anyways, neither here nor there. All right, gentlemen. I appreciate your time. Is there anything else we should discuss, or should the next order of business?
Sounds good. I guess if you guys are open to it, or you guys have anywhere, I'll send you that podcast.
Okay.
I think we'd love to plan a trip up and look at some more of your portfolio. If you guys want to send over a sample size of just a few different, you can do a few different cities, whatever you guys are comfortable with. And then we could see what we could push back to you guys, and then maybe have a lengthier discussion on, what we could look at, going forward. So.
All right, will do.
Okay.
Since you said you do a lot of work for Associa, would it be possible to know if you work for a community called the Shores at Marina Bay? The reason I ask is because in the Marina Bay area, there's two communities that we manage that are almost identical to the Shore, same developer, same everything. And I actually know the manager at the Shores. I would just be interested to know, because right across the street is a community that we manage that's very similar. And if you already are working at the Shores, then it might be a good candidate for one that I send your ways, because it's so similar.
Yeah, we'd love to. It might be a way for us to get in on the other one. We don't do that one right now.
And if you guys want references, we have, tons of references from property managers to, big portfolios, ROIC, and a bunch of commercial property. So anything you guys want to check us out. I mean, our biggest thing is, we know you guys all know what it's like to work directly with a hauler. Everybody knows the issues and the things that they're going through with doing that. And like I said, we're just trying to be a little bit better for that and a little bit cheaper. And, if we can do that at all, that's a positive for us.
Hey, Dad, I have a question for you. Generally speaking, my dad, he's a CFO, so he would know this better than I. Generally speaking, would having fewer trash companies to deal with from a billing perspective be helpful with respect to accounting and strong room and all that?
You're saying for us to have sorry, go ahead.
I the biggest problem with the trash companies up here, even though they have the same name, they're all Waste Management just about, except for a few that are cities, is that you're not always sure. It's like they have a franchise operation, which is weird. They're the same company supposedly, but you have to go to this office or that office or the other office. So it get a little bit, sometimes people, there's a little confusion on it, but usually once you get it worked out and you're billing to the right, getting the bills, the checks going to the right place, which isn't always the same. I don't know that it makes that much difference, in all honesty.
Okay.
If they can save some money, I'm sure it makes a difference.
Okay.
All right.
Well, good
Fair
deal.
enough. All right, guys.
And
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
thank you.
Which one's Jeff?
I'm Jeff.
I'm Joel.
Jeff and Joel.
Yeah.
All right. J&J. Got it.
Oh, then and it can keep going. We got Jeff, Joel, Josh.
The owner's Josh, his
Jordan.
brother.
Yeah, we got all J's in this office.
Yeah.
Well, I'm Paul, but people always call me Phil for some reason, probably because my last name's Collins.
I love that song.
All right, gentlemen. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate
you're
your
gonna
time.
you're gonna get the email recording sent to you.
Yeah.
If you could share it with me as editor. If you don't share with, you got to go hit share and then editor. Otherwise, I won't be able to access it because I'm not in your domain.
Okay.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Hey, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you guys. Have a great day.
All right. Bye.